The people you work with, people you enjoy spending time with and would want to hang out with outside of work, that can actually have a big influence on how happy you are in your career and in your work life that you may be spending a third or more of your life doing. And I spoke to a woman today during my podcast who said she really enjoyed her career. It was challenging. She moved up. But after a certain point, she just didn't want to continue, not just in her company, but in the industry in general, because she left to find something else and realized all the positions out there were going to be the same people who didn't dress like her, who didn't have the hobby she had. She had to hide her tattoos. She didn't even feel she could be her authentic self. And after a while, that can be exhausting. And as a parent, if you're working around other people and none of them are parents, it can be very difficult, because not only do they not understand the challenges that you face juggling your career and your kids, but they don't even have the same things going on in their life on a day-to-day basis. Even if someone has children that are different ages, some people have grown kids or teenage kids or kids in elementary school or babies and toddlers, they can all relate to each other, having that separateness from work, something that oftentimes will take priority over their career and their job. And it can be difficult to work with both colleagues and bosses who don't truly understand that until they've lived it themselves. And many people say that they were judgmental about their coworkers and even their subordinates until they experienced parenthood themselves. So this is something to consider when you feel stuck, when you feel you might not be in the right place, when you feel it's time for a change or a move. Think about the people that are in the place where you work. This doesn't mean you should change industries. If you love your career and nobody in your career is like you, then find networking groups where you meet people like you elsewhere who are in your career. But there's got to be a way to cope with that so you're not always feeling like an outsider and like you can't be yourself. It's important to be yourself. Of course, if you go to a client meeting, you're going to act differently than if you go to a family picnic, but being able to be true to your authentic self is important at home and at work.